Sarah Biak wrote a book, I believe, called The Redvolution, and she talks about spiritual change and reformations, and she makes some statements, and I will be sharing some of them that I believe are very helpful in the awakening we're now experiencing. She says to realize who we truly are, we have to step out of what we have always been. And she says something to the effect, and many people I quote, I put in my own words, some addition, break away from the herd to see your unique potential. And this is very important, that we have a willingness to step outside of what we've always known, of the familiarity, of the comfort zone, and sometimes even solitude is the experience of those who seek truth. There is cultural intimidation, there is isolation, there is a certain rejection when you don't go along with popular thinking. I don't have any problem with popular thinking if popular thinking is correct. But if popular thinking is based upon deception and fallacy, it is not the kind of thinking that I want to engage in. Another statement from Sarah: walk out of your too small beliefs and listen to the inner applause. Open yourself to more wonder. That's not being cocky or arrogant. That's being truly hungry. And a lot of times your motives will be mistaken, and people will think you somehow esteem yourself a little better than others when nothing is further from the truth. The people that I have met in the areas of truth research have great compassion for humanity. It's unfortunate that sometimes that is perceived as arrogance or cockiness when nothing is further from the truth. They want to go ahead of the herd, perhaps, in order to find better pastures where we as a human family can go into better understanding, greater empowerment for the possibilities of the future. And by the way, I'm very optimistic about the present and the future. And I believe the light that is being shined in our consciousness will enable us to loosen the chains that have held our thinking, our technologies at a backward pace, so that we can truly begin to solve the problems that we are faced with. Walk out and listen to the applause. If no one else is patting you on the back or clapping their hands and saying, go, you listen on the inside, because the soul of you, the sun inside of you, the light within you will applaud every step you make towards greater light and greater truths. It's interesting, like a tumbling house of cards, once certain long-held views are found incomplete, all other ideas are subject to scrutiny. When I began to really examine some of the foundational beliefs that I held as a Christian minister, let me just say one: the total depravity of man. Well, if man was totally depraved, you would need bars on every window and a gun in every hand to protect yourself. No, total depravity, this is a false concept. We all know that people have selfish inclinations that do not serve the good of others. That does not equate with the term total depravity. When that began to unravel in my thinking, then this whole idea, I'm a wicked, wretched sinner, this began to disintegrate. Then I began to see the different aspects of my soul, of my personality, makeup, and behavior, some positive, some negative, some in all areas in between. These simple definitions do not work anymore. And when you pull down some of these false foundations, the whole house caves in. And I must admit that that is a time of discomfort. That is a time of imbalance. That is a time of searching. But it is an important phase of your building a true house of true beliefs in your work towards discovering more. So just letting you know that a lot of things will crumble in your thinking in this spiritual awakening of 2012, but do not be concerned. It will be replaced with stronger, much more solid, much more provable truths so that you don't have to live with cognitive dissonance. I was reading David Icke as he spoke about cognitive dissonance, when we hold two contradictory beliefs in our head at the same time. You know, we say that this other group, they are evil, unbelieving sinners, and then you meet them in the store and you say, hello, how you doing? So you're loving and hating. Do you see the dissonance that that creates? Do you see how that's discordant with your whole makeup and character? No, we're going to come to be unified and authentic in what we believe and what we say we believe. And this will be very empowering to you as an individual. When you face facts that just simply do not add up with your beliefs, you're going to do one of two things. You'll either stretch the facts to fit your mind, or you will stretch your mind to fit the facts. Can I encourage you to activate the latter? Allow yourself to be stretched. Allow yourself to learn more. Allow yourself to say the words, I was wrong. I had a limited perspective. I was programmed to think in that way, and the people who programmed me were not necessarily evil people themselves. They also were programmed to parrot a certain mantra, to speak a certain belief. And when you allow yourself the ability to grow, to expand, that's not an evil thing. That's not unhealthy. Your curiosity is shamed from the time you're a child. We're told curiosity kills the cat, but I'll tell you, curiosity may help the cat escape from a burning building. So it's important to give yourself room to stretch, to expand. You're not a bad person for doing that. I'm not a bad person for teaching you expansive truths and expansive exercises. This is healthy. This is wholesome. It's very unhealthy and unwholesome for a person, my gosh, in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and so on. We live in this cycle such a short span. To say in that time frame, I know it all, I've got the answer. No, friend, there should always be a little question mark hanging out there and an openness to continue learning more. I want to encourage you, do not bow to overgrown belief systems of authoritarian abuse. Slay your Goliath. And it is amazing the people and principles of past programming, how they will overshadow and frighten you, because as a child you probably sat in rooms and in sanctuaries where people larger than you, the Goliaths, held over you. This is the truth. This is what you must believe, or you will not be accepted by God. Nothing could be further from the truth. God is not going to give you a non-acceptance slip. You are part of that divine expression and experience. You are a unique expression of that. Stop being intimidated. Well, they have so many followers. They look at this property they own. Friend, there are properties throughout the galaxies that far surpass any structure, any monument, any organization that is being pawned off as the representation of God. Go to the trees, go to the forest, go to the birds, and you'll see a better representation of the divine.